Under the quiet moon, where the wind carries whispers of forgotten lands. Welcome to Echoes of the East. Tonight, let an ancient tale guide your heart and calm your mind. In the lush highlands of Ponorogo, East Java, where mist rolls gently over green valleys, there lies a lake called Telaga. Its waters shimmer like polished glass, reflecting both the brilliance of the sun and the quiet mystery of the moon. Villagers tell their children that this lake is not an ordinary body of water. It was born from a legend, a story so old that the trees and stones themselves seem to carry its memory. Long ago, when the land was still young, there lived a humble couple in a small hut near the forest. Their lives were simple. They farmed the land, gathered firewood, and prayed for blessings. Yet, for many years, they bore no children. The woman's heart longed deeply for a child, while the man silently accepted their fate. But fate, as the stories go, often listens to hidden prayers. One morning, as the woman was fetching water by the river, she discovered a strange object lying among the reeds. It was a giant egg, glowing faintly as if kissed by the sun itself. She carried it home with trembling hands and showed it to her husband. "This must be a gift from the heavens," she whispered. Together, they decided to keep it warm, caring for it as though it were a child. Days turned into weeks, and finally, the egg cracked. From within emerged not a chick nor a bird, but a serpent's scales gleaming with colors that shimmered between emerald and gold. At first, the couple was afraid, but when the serpent looked at them with gentle eyes, their fear melted away. They named the serpent Baru Klinthing and raised it as their own. Yet even as the serpent grew, whispers spread through the village. People shunned the couple, calling the creature a curse. The villagers feared Baru Klinthing's presence, saying that no good could come from raising a snake of such size and power. The couple, however, remained steadfast, believing that the serpent carried a destiny beyond human understanding. As Baru Klinthing grew, his body stretched long and strong. His scales reflected the sunlight like woven jewels, and his hiss carried both strength and sorrow. Though raised with love, he could not ignore the way villagers stared at him with suspicion. Children ran in fear, and adults muttered warnings under their breath. One fateful day, Baru Klinthing's adoptive parents revealed the truth. "You are not like other beings, my child," the old man said softly, placing a hand upon his scaled head. "You came to us from a heavenly gift. Your life carries a great purpose." Baru Klinthing listened in silence, his heart torn between gratitude for their love and loneliness for being different. As years passed, the serpent began to sense a power within him. He could feel the pulse of the earth, the rhythm of rivers, and the whispers of the wind. But he also felt the sting of rejection. When he approached the village, he heard laughter turn into screams. His heart grew heavy. One day, driven by longing, Baru Klinthing went to the marketplace in human form, for he had learned to transform. His appearance was ragged, his face weary from hunger. He asked the villagers for food, but they turned him away with cruel words. "Beggar," they spat, "you reek of filth. Leave our village." No one showed him kindness. For one poor widow who lived on the edge of the village, she gave him a simple meal of warm rice and salt. Baru Klinthing ate gratefully, bowing deeply to her. "Your kindness will not be forgotten," he whispered. That night, Baru Klinthing returned in a serpent form. His heart carried both sorrow and a test of fate. He slithered through the village, challenging the people. If you truly believe I am cursed, then prove your strength. Wrap a rope around me and see if you can bind me." The villagers, proud and mocking, accepted, but no matter how many ropes they used, none could encircle his massive body. The serpent stretched beyond their reach, longer and longer, until fear began to spread through the crowd. Still, their pride blinded them. They ridiculed him, unaware that their cruelty was planting the seeds of their own downfall. The night grew darker, and Baru Klinthing's sorrow deepened. He returned once more in human form and placed a single wooden stick upright in the center of the village square. "If you are so mighty," he told them, "pull this stick from the ground." The villagers laughed, thinking it was a fool's game, but not one could move it. Only the widow's little child, with innocence untainted by pride, touched the stick hand. It shifted easily. The villagers gasped, but before they could react, Baru Klinthing's voice thundered across the skies. "Your hearts are filled with cruelty, but remember this moment. The earth remembers kindness, and the earth punishes arrogance." Then he vanished into the forest. Soon after, the stick began to bleed water. At first, just a trickle, then a steady flow. The villagers thought little of it until the water refused to stop. The ground trembled, the rivers roared, and within moments, torrents flooded the land. Panic erupted. People ran in every direction, but the flood consumed homes, fields, and pathways. Those who mocked Baru Klinthing found themselves swallowed by the rising waters. Only the widow and her child, whom Baru Klinthing had warned to climb a tree, survived the disaster. The water rose and rose, carving valleys and filling plains until it formed a vast lake, deep, calm, and eternal. That lake would forever be called Telaga Ngebel, a reminder of both the serpent's sorrow and the punishment of arrogance. Legends say that Baru Klinthing did not perish with the flood. Instead, he became the eternal guardian spirit of Telaga Ngebel. Fishermen who row across its waters sometimes claim to see a shimmering scale beneath the surface. Others tell of dreams where a serpent speaks softly, reminding them to live with kindness and humility. Even today, villagers bring offerings to the lake during certain ceremonies. Banana stalks, rice, and flowers are set afloat as gifts to the guardian spirit. Children are told never to mock the waters or act arrogantly near the shore. The story of Baru Klinthing is not only a tale of creation, but also a lesson that arrogance invites ruin, while kindness saves lives. Some versions of the tale say that Baru Klinthing still waits, listening to the prayers of the humble. On nights when the moonlight glows silver over Telaga, people claim they can hear a soft hiss carried by the wind. They say it is Baru Klinthing, watching, waiting, reminding humans that the lake is alive. For travelers, the legend of Telaga Ngebel is both haunting and beautiful. To sit by its shores is to feel the pulse of an ancient story, to sense the balance between kindness and cruelty, and to remember that nature itself carries memory. And so, the legend of Telaga Ngebel flows through time like the waters of the lake itself. It is a story whispered by parents to children, a song carried by the breeze, and a reminder that every action echoes in the fabric of the world. Perhaps, if you one day sit quietly by Telaga Ngebel under the full moon, you will hear the whispers of Baru, not as a curse, not as a monster, but as a guardian whose story endures through the ages. Thank you for listening to Echoes of the East. May this tale bring peace to your night and guide your dreams into gentle waters. Sleep well, Dear listener,